Hungry Henders. Chef Nick and little Stella Hender. They're a super duo, yes it's true. Now they're here to cook for you. Hungry Henders.
Stella, what are we gonna do for our next video?
I don't know.
I know! Duck! Stella?
Yeah.
Stella? Stella, not that kind of duck. The quack quack kind of duck.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Oh, but how are we gonna eat that?
Oh, we'll find out. Hello everyone, welcome back to Hungry Henders. My name is Nick, and with me as always is the camera person extraordinaire, Stella.
Hello!
Today, we're so excited, we're making Duck Confit.
Wah, wah.
Duck confit is sort of a way to cure duck meat and preserving it by cooking in its own fat. First, we're going to steel our knife, get it nice and sharp. We're going to be using a boning knife for this. Now we're going to take the outer layer off the duck that was protecting it from the freezer. And we're going to start by taking off the duck wings. There's really not much meat in the duck wings, so we can just get rid of them. I'm going to render them down later for make sure all the fat comes out. We're going to dislocate the ball and socket joint and then just cut through it just like that. And there you go. We'll do the same thing to the other one really quickly. Whack. All right. Now that we got that done, we're gonna trim off any excess skin fat that we can see. We'll render that down later to get all the duck fat out. We're gonna use that duck fat for our confit. A little bit right here too. Now we're gonna separate the duck into two pieces. We're gonna separate it into the breasts and the thighs and legs. For duck confit, we're gonna use the legs and thighs. We're gonna first take it up like this and split it right down to the back and use our boning knife to cut all the skin and the flesh from the backbone. We dislocated the bones, so it should be pretty easy to get through. There we go. Yeah, there we got it. All right, so now we separated it out. Now we're gonna go and start on disassembling the thighs. We're gonna dislocate the ball and socket joint of the thigh and then slice along the meat to remove the thigh from the carcass. Just like that. A little bit there too. And now we've got it completely removed from the bones. A little bit stuck in there. There we got it. So, we're gonna work on this one and make it a little cleaner. We're gonna go ahead and trim this guy up. That guy had a broken leg, came out of the package. All right, just carefully trimming off the excess fat. And now, we've got a complete clean duck leg ready to go. All the excess fat we're gonna save for rendering down later. Now we still got one more duck leg to take care of. We're gonna go ahead and do the same process for this one. Perfect, now we're left with is the carcass. Trim up this guy as well, really quickly. A little bit right here of excess skin and fat we can take off. And a little bit on the end there as well. Nip that away. Great. So now we got our duck legs ready cleaned and ready to go. So we're going to take all the excess skin and fat that we collected and put it into a sauce pot. And we're going to put this on the stove, turn the heat up really high, and render the fat out of the duck meat, just like that. See, it's nice and crispy, some time has passed, and we have all that beautiful duck fat just sitting there. We're going to flavor our duck legs by making a dry rub. Our dry rub is going to consist of some bay leaf, allspice, coriander seed, thyme, and rosemary. We're going to put all this inside a coffee grinder and grind it up till it's a fine powder. There we go. We want to give it a good shake though to make sure that it's mixing well and that it's not sticking inside. After a few seconds, you can see some fine powder. We're gonna go ahead now and salt our duck legs. This is a very important step. We need to put a heavy coating of kosher salt on top of the duck leg, all sides, getting those nooks and crannies as well. There we go, right inside there. Look at that, fully covered, well seasoned in salt. This is going to act as our curing agent. It's going to help dry the duck out, increase its flavor. Now we're going to sprinkle on a heavy coat of our dry rub spices and herbs that we made in just a few seconds ago. We're going to really get that in. Rub it into the flesh, rub it into the fat and the skin. Just like that. Do all sides. There we go. And now this side. Perfect. I made just enough to cover the entire leg, so as you can see. Once you cover the duck legs with the spices and salt, we're going to put them into a steel bowl to refrigerate. Duck confit requires about 3 days prep. We're going to leave it in the refrigerator for a full 24 hours wrapped in saran wrap. Alright, it's the next day now, and we're going to take out our duck confit. Have a look. After a full day's cure, you can see a ton of water has been pulled from the legs. We're going to rinse off the cure now. And we're just going to have a gentle stream of water to rinse off all the spices and cure. We're going to dry them really well by patting them into some kitchen paper. Going to wrap these up like a present now, get them as dry as we can. Okay, now that we have the duck legs prepared, we're going to cook them in their own fat. This is the fat I took off this duck, but that's not enough. Luckily, I have a lot more fat. We're going to scoop this into a pot, just like so, and place all the fat on a low burner to melt it and get it hot. We're then going to take our cured duck legs, as you can see here, lay them into the hot fat, just like so. We want to make sure they're completely submerged, making sure there's full contact with the fat. We're going to put the duck in the oven at 350 degrees for 3 hours. It comes out looking like this. Gorgeous, fully cooked. We're then going to refrigerate it for a full day, and it's going to be encased in fat. We're going to uncase it from the fat, scraping off as much as we can, and then we're going to transfer it over to a pan for searing. We're going to put this pan at high heat and lay the duck legs one at a time into the pan to brown the outsides of them. Nice and golden brown. Look how much fat got released in that process. Wow, they look so delicious. We're gonna flip them over and get both sides. And then to finish heating them throughout, we're gonna pop them in the oven. The oven set at 375, just to go there hot. Now comes the time for plating. Grab ourselves a plate, and I made some forced mushroom risotto. That's another video. We're gonna pile the risotto onto the plate as a nice base for us. Get ourselves our beautiful duck legs. Just gonna bring them over. Beautiful. Look how gorgeous they are. Nice and brown. Gonna take one of them, lay it right on top of the risotto, just like so. Push it down so it doesn't fall over. Now comes some garnishing. Going to grab a little bit of rosemary. I love rosemary. There's rosemary in the dry rub as well, so it complements the flavor quite nicely. And to top it off, some beautiful Parmesan cheese. I'm gonna use my microplane to grate it, a nice thin dusting of wonderful Parmesan cheese over top. And that's pretty much it. Gonna look how beautiful that looks. Okay, after 3 long days of prep work, we're gonna give this a try.
Ooh, yummy.
The duck confit is finally ready. Have a taste, Stella. What do you think?
Hungry Henders. Chef
Oh, look how tender it is.
and little
Falls apart.
Stella Hender.
All right.
Super duo,
Well, so ends another Hungry Henders. And this is Stella and Nick today, and we'll see you again next time on our fun YouTube channel. All right, guys. Bye.